Hello, boys and girls, and thank you for joining me as we look at figurative language this week. Now, figurative language is basically just different ways that we can add depth to our writing, that we can paint more of a picture in our writing. So, let me give you some examples of figurative language. Our first example is an idiom. Now, an idiom is just a phrase that means something different than what it says. So in this example, you can see this is a piece of cake. And well, yes, the picture is a piece of cake, but normally this idiom is used to describe things that are super easy. For example, that test was a piece of cake, or this game is a piece of cake. It's something that's really easy, but you don't literally mean you see a piece of cake. The next form of figurative language is a simile. And a simile is when we compare two things, and here's the catch. You use the word like or as. That's how you know it's a simile. In this example, you can see she is as slow as a turtle. So we're using as in this example. So similes are when you're comparing two things and you use the word like or as. The next example is a metaphor. A metaphor is like a simile, but there's one big difference. With a metaphor, you usually compare two things using the words is or are. Her smile is the sun. So you're not saying it's as slow or as fast, but you're saying it is this. Her smile is the sun. That just means her smile is really bright, right? That's a metaphor. The next type of figurative language is an alliteration. Now, an alliteration is a sentence, or it can just be a phrase with words that begin with the same letter. So I gave you an example in a sentence. Adventurous alligators ate apples. Now that's kind of an extreme alliteration, but an alliteration can once again be a full sentence or maybe just a phrase. More often, just a phrase where two words, or in a phrase, more than two words, start with the same letter. All right, an onomatopoeia. That's a fun word to say, right? Onomatopoeia. An onomatopoeia is a word that sounds like the noise it makes. The bacon sizzled in the pan. So sizzled. You'll see onomatopoeias a lot in like comic books. You'll see kapow or bam. Those are onomatopoeias. Okay. Personification. This is one that is more common. We use this quite a bit in our writing without really even thinking about it. It's to describe non-human things with human qualities. In this example, the river danced happily, or the tree swayed as it danced in the breeze. It's when we get those things that are not human qualities. The dog talked to his friend. Well, dogs can't actually talk like humans do, but we personify them a lot of the time. The last one we're going to be talking about is a hyperbole. This is when we describe something in an exaggerated way. It took forever to get our order at the restaurant. Now, it didn't literally take forever or else you'd still be sitting there, but you can kind of see that they exaggerated a little bit. I am starving. Now, I'm not literally starving because I ate lunch just a few hours ago, but I am quite hungry, so I exaggerated a little bit. I gave a hyperbole. So this week, I'd really like you to focus on how you can use some of these. You decide how many, you decide which ones, but maybe you can use a couple of these in your writing, and let's see if we can spice up our writing a little bit.